Hello, loves! In today's video, we are going to be reading like books and Lala. I am so excited. It's going to be all horror thriller vibes. I have some pics that I've gotten from Books and Lala over several of her videos. One of her all-time favorites, Bunny. I think her 2021 favorite, My Heart is a Chainsaw. Another 2021 favorite, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. And another book that I've heard really good reviews from her, Sadie. These are the official books for this vlog, and hopefully we're gonna be able to get through all of these. I am so excited. I'm a huge fan of Kayla, so I'm super excited to be doing this. I actually know that I do tend to like a lot of books that she does, so I'm feeling very positive about this, and I'm really hoping that this is a more successful reading like vlog. Okay, so I am doing a vlog that's all about Books and Lala, and I'm not even wearing my Literally Dead book club sweater. Ugh, what is wrong with me? So yeah, I ended up getting this in one of the previous drops. Absolutely love it. Big fan. Okay, so it's time for me to figure out which one of these I'm going to start first. As I mentioned, this one's still on hold, so automatically out of the run for now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with My Heart is a Chainsaw. I think this one is the riskiest pick out of all of them, so I think it's a good one to start with.
Stopping by just to tell you I hope that you understand why these things on my mind keep me up at night. Maybe you are the answer, but lately I'm so alone, stone cold, romanticizing our love has got so much worse. Now I lose my turn to say solitude. You are the spark when I'm in solitude.
Okay, so I'm like 40 pages into My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones, and so far we're off to a interesting start. There has been an instance of somebody attempting to unalive themselves. We've also have been introduced to our main character. So we do have a girl who is in some very unfortunate circumstances and who has a obsession basically with slasher movies and kind of a desire for attention. And I'm pretty sure the premise of this is that our slasher fangirl realizes that there is a slasher in her hometown and needs to convince the rest of the people there before they end up getting murdered, I guess, and she saves the day. I don't know if that's actually true or not. We've only kind of just been introduced to things and kind of hinted at stuff, but based off of what I remember hearing from this and what I've read so far, I'm pretty sure that's what this is about. I'm liking the writing so far. I am a little bit nervous because I've only read one other thing from Stephen Graham Jones and I didn't love it, but I'm wondering if a longer form novel will be a little bit more enjoyable for me. and I think the premise of this is going to be interesting, so I'm excited to kind of see where it goes. I'm also trying not to think of this as a horror necessarily, because I don't think that it's going to scare me. I think it's the kind of more like action-y filled, I don't know. I don't entirely know what to expect. We did have a pretty creepy intro. We're hinting at different things, like there's stuff going on. So I'm excited to see where this goes and see if this one's a little bit more up my alley. So I'll give you an update when I am further into it. Hello. Okay, so it is the next day and I have continued My Heart is a Chainsaw. I am surprisingly enjoying this, even though the main character is kind of unhinged. Like, there are things that are happening or that she wants to happen that is just like not a normal way to approach stuff, but it makes sense because she is a slasher movie obsessed person. Like, she quotes things from slasher movies, she analyzes them in a very bizarre and interesting way, which I find absolutely fascinating, but I feel like she is detached from reality to some degree because of this, and I'm kind of interested in seeing how things are going to play out. We have kind of gotten a little bit further into the plot and, you know, things are starting to unfold, and it's just really interesting seeing her reaction. Like, I'm fascinated. I don't necessarily like her as a character. I think she's a little bit over the top. I think she's, like I said, a little bit unhinged, but I'm still fascinated and yeah, scared. I'm really terrified to kind of see how things go. I am enjoying the writing so far quite a bit, which is a good sign because, like I said, I did not enjoy the last book from him that I have read, so I've been kind of on the fence, but so far I'm enjoying it. That being said, I think I enjoyed the last book that I read from him for a good chunk of it. Like, it was a novella, so it was pretty quick. It was more of the ending or something that I wasn't a huge fan of, like the direction that it went in. But now I'm kind of second guessing myself. I'm all like, was it actually bad or what? Because when I think back to him, I'm all like, yeah, there's nothing, it was kind of cool. So I don't know. Maybe I will reread it in the future and see if my opinion changes, or I'll read my review because I'm pretty sure I did a pretty detailed review on Goodreads that might explain why I felt so about it. But yeah, hopefully this one has an ending that stands up because I'm digging it right now. We'll see. We're still pretty early on. We're like a quarter through it, so there's a lot of room for things to change. But yeah, I am digging it at the moment.
Old conversations stuck in my head. Don't wanna live with regrets. If I hold you now, would I lose you forever? They say good things never last. I think it's worth whatever we have. At the end of it, we'll sit and cry and touch my body, tell me you want me. Head in the clouds when you're whispering softly. Lightly we meet and lightly we see it. Running down, going down, now you want more. Drink too much, got a bill that we can't afford. Summer night, empty street is our dance floor.
Okay, first book down, and I loved it. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. I really liked this. I really liked it. I like the writing. I like the craziness. It's bizarre. There's weird, creepy things going on. It didn't go into a direction that I was expecting, which I enjoyed. Like, I don't know how to describe this because I went in here, one, expecting that I wasn't going to like it, so pleasantly surprised, and two, not sure what direction it would go. And I don't know what I was expecting, but it did some things and it was a fun time. There is definitely trigger warnings in here. There's different types of trauma. It's a slasher. There's a lot of slashing that happens. Okay, hi, editing me here. I did want to mention a complaint that a lot of people had for this book is that there isn't a lot of slashing throughout the entire thing. A lot of that happens towards the end. So I did mention that there's a lot of slashing happening because it's a slasher, but I also wanted to clarify so that people don't go in being all like, oh yeah, there's going to be slashing at every turn and corner. Because there's more of a build-up before that kind of happens, and then the latter half of the book has that. So, warning, I guess. So, obviously keep that in mind if you do end up reading it, but I loved this way more than I thought I would. So, yeah, this one is a big surprise to me. I am kind of thinking of giving this a 5-star. I don't know if that makes the most sense. It's not like a favorite book of mine. I loved it. I enjoyed it. There's part of me that even wants to reread it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I am feeling 5 stars. At the very least, it is a high 4 stars, like high 4 stars, almost 5 stars. So we are off to a really good start. Gold star for you, Kayla, because the first book is a success. Now let's hope that book number 2 is just as successful. For this one, I think I'm gonna go with Bunny by Mona Awad. This, as far as I know, is one of Kayla's favorites. So high hopes, but I know it's another weird one and I don't really know anything else about it. So I guess I'm gonna get into this and I'll give you an update when I'm further along. Okay, I have just started Bunny, and so far it seems like we have someone who doesn't fully fit in at this school and this group of girls called the Bunnies, who it almost seems like she resents but wants to be a part of. So, interesting setup so far. Not sure how it's gonna go, but we'll see. We will see. I am gonna be doing a workout with my bestie now that work is over, so I am going to switch out into something a little bit more comfortable. So yeah, okay. So I guess get into the workout and I'll give you an update later. Root beer! Yep, I did that. I'm out here trying to get some footage of Kiwi for a Kiwi appreciation post for my patrons, and every time she's all like, "Nah, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna do this." You gotta look cute for the patrons. Jeez, Kiwi. Kiwi appreciation video. I love you, sweetie. I love you, sweetie. So like, it's not love unless there's pets. When I want them only. You always have eye boogers. Hello, good morning, hi. So I have started Bunny. Like it's really bizarre. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was not feeling it at first. I was just all like, this is stupid. I don't know. Like, it's not up my alley. I don't really care about this kind of like girl drama, whatever's happening sort of situation. And then we've gotten to a part where at a bunny event and weird things are happening in a way where I'm all like, hey, maybe this is gonna be great, but I don't know. We're still pretty early on. I still don't know what the point is. I don't think I'm gonna, but if it continues down this kind of weird road, I might end up enjoying it because there's just some really bizarre things about these friggin' bunnies, and I'm just all like, what is the deal? I want to know what is the deal with them. And I have some suspicions because they've said a couple of things that I'm all like, and then something has just happened where I'm all like, So I think we're gonna have a magical time moving forward with the weird and bizarreness that's going on. What? What? Wait, what? Okay, so I'm currently reading Bunny by Mona Awad, and this is like a fever dream. Like, it's such a weird, bizarre experience, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. Like, there's definitely have been some moments where I'm all like, I'm on board, and then there's other moments where I'm all like, I don't know what I got myself into. I'm getting pretty close to the end. We're about to wrap it up. I think I've been unintentionally sort of spoiled by what's going on based off of a comment that I overheard Books and Lala say in a completely unrelated video, and I'm not mad, but like, I was kind of thinking about it beforehand, and now I'm thinking about it even more and like being all like, is that what's happening here? And so I am enjoying that, and I am excited to actually see what's going on. So yeah, back on track with this. Yeah, because I am on a little bit of a time crunch right now, I'm hoping that I can finish this tonight and start Sadie, and hopefully finish Sadie tomorrow and then start the last book that I want to do before this month is over. You guys won't really be seeing that because I have a completely different book that I'm going to be reading for the end of this vlog, which I'm pretty excited about, and even more excited because I rewatched the videos where the recommendations came in, and it's a, you know, it's a loved book, so I'm all like, okay, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So I'm feeling good. We're feeling good in the neighborhood, and when I finish this, I will come back and let you know. Wait, I'm sorry, what is happening now? Wait, what? Confusion? Okay. Wasn't expecting that, and nothing has fully happened yet, and I'm thoroughly like, wait, what? All right. Hello, we have finished Bunny, so book done, check. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this. It was a good time. I enjoyed some of the things that it did. The ending is meh, like I don't hate it, but it's not as satisfying as I would like it to be, but I don't know what I would want instead. So I think it was a fun time. I think it did some things. Yeah, it did make me a little bit sad, but yeah, I did enjoy it for the most part. Hello again, self-sponsorship time. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you are enjoying it, be sure to thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and consider becoming a besties. I have an exclusive book club for both the Patreon besties and the channel membership besties, and they alternate each month. And with that out of the way, let's get back to the video. Now, I did also start the audio audiobook for Sadie. And I'm gonna be honest with you, unpopular opinion when it comes to audiobooks, I actually don't like full cast audiobooks most of the time. Like, there are instances where I enjoy it, but I love when it's, especially if it's like dual perspective or something like that, when it's like a single narrator who is decent enough where you can feel like it's different people, but it's the same person. Like, there's something really nice about that type of storytelling. But this, I've literally just started. I'm sure I'm only a couple of pages in, like 3, 4, maybe 4 pages into it. And already I am loving the full cast audiobook experience. Basically, it starts off with like a radio show announcing a podcast, and then it goes into the podcast, and it's got a lot of like the little cracklynesses that you get in that kind of media. And I'm loving it so far. And I've literally just started. I don't know, but like it's an oddly enjoyable experience in and of itself. Like, just the fact that I feel like I'm listening to these additional audio bits in forms of like podcasts and radio clips and stuff like that is so satisfying, because it just feels like I'm getting a little bit of extra, like, ooh, this on top of your story. I am a little bit nervous about the rest of it, because I feel like, especially when it's a huge cast, like it could just be super overwhelming. And I will say the reason, like, side note, the reason why I don't like full cast audio books most of the time, and I'm sure there's plenty, like I'm pretty sure the audiobook for A Plague of Giants is a full cast, and I liked it. I think it was really good. It wasn't over the top. It was nice, but you had a couple of different narrators that were doing, I think, a couple voices each, but like they were clearly different people. But the first ever full cast audio experience that I ever had was actually The Hobbit. I found basically like full cast play type narrations that were goofy and had voices that were just not very enjoyable. Like, I felt like it was a really cheesy children's TV show, and it just took me out of the experience. It was actually for little kids, and so it's not a surprise that that's how the audiobook was, but it really killed it for me. It really made it not enjoyable. And so since then, I've always been like, nope, not a fan. I hate that. Like, it is cool having a little bit, just a hint, you know, like I don't mind hearing a creak of a door in certain things, or like the whoosh of wind here and there, but I don't really want those sound effects. Like, I want to hear and feel that in the writing, not necessarily in the sound effects. So yeah, this is gonna be a wild ride for me. I like the opening bit. I'm interested in seeing how I'm gonna feel about the rest of it. I may hate this, but I also may not. So we'll see.
Just me, I'm your fucking tail, but I might not be close enough. I may be a little closer to see. Sir, Carl, please take their fire.
Good morning. So today is Wednesday, September 28th. It is currently 7 a.m. and I just finished Sadie. And so yeah, this was pretty good. It was a fun time, especially listening to the audiobook, having the different mediums. It was a good time is hard to say, because this was not a good time type of book. And it's funny because I remember hearing people talk about the fact like, hey, like trigger warnings, if you're gonna go into this book. I don't check trigger warnings. I'm not somebody that needs it typically, but I don't know why I was expecting this to not be the way it was. So yes, trigger warnings. Just don't be caught off guard, especially if that's something you're difficult with. I guess it's like part of me feels like maybe it's the cover gives off a less dark vibe, but it's a story about missing girls and death and, you know, things. So I don't know know why I felt that way, but yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think this is a high 4 stars. I wasn't super satisfied by the ending. It's definitely not a favorite, but like it's a really good book. So I don't know, is 4, yeah. That's where I'm at. So a high 4 stars. Good morning. So today is October 6th. I started In My Dreams I Hold a Knife yesterday and have been continuing it today. And I'm not liking it. Why is this happening? It's funny because before now I was like, man, I like everything. And that's kind of boring. And now I'm all like, man, I hate everything and that's worse. You get what you wish for, and it's not always nice. Yeah, this isn't terrible in any way, shape, or form. This book, I am 9 chapters into it, and I haven't enjoyed any part of it. Now, it seems like we're about to shift into the part that I'm interested in, and so hopefully things will turn around and I'll enjoy the rest of the book. But like, if we hadn't just reached a moment regarding the like mystery death hinting at and reminding me that that is supposed to be a part of this book, I probably would have DNF'd it. That's how much I'm like not into this right now. And I'm not in the mood to push through books I don't enjoy. I'm all like, there are so many books that I want to read. No, unless there is something interesting and gripping, unless there is something that I can hold on to, I am not. I don't care how great the book might be in the end. I don't want to waste many pages finding out when there are so many books, even bad books, that are more engaging than some books that I've been reading recently. So yeah, that's a thing that I'm really annoyed about. I've been trying to give you an update about this for a couple of times, and I'm struggling. I am struggling to let you know what I've discovered, because basically I'm not a huge fan, and I guess this makes sense because I don't like certain YA tropes, and this kind of has that feeling, even though I do not think this is a YA book at all. But we have a messy friend group here, and we're focusing in a lot of unlikable characters, or I don't even know if that's fully true. I'm just not liking anybody at the moment. The main character especially, like, I'm just not a fan of how much she cares about fitting into this rich group despite not really being a rich person. And I have read this in other ways and had it not bother me as much as it does in this case. But like, everything seems so juvenile and stupid. And although I did like one of the reasonings as to why she decided to go to the school that she did, even though it's, going to be a financial disaster in the long run, like, that was like, okay, yeah, I can see that. I understand that. I get that. But like, everything else, like, I'm just not a fan. I don't want to be in this head. I don't want to focus on it that much. Like, it's nice to kind of know, but like, I really don't want to focus on it for 9 chapters when I'm here for a murder. And it's funny because, this is a book that Kayla from Books and Lala has recommended, and I think she very deliberately ended up saying, like, this is not a dark academia book. It's about a messy friendship. And I should have listened. I've wanted this book for so long and have been interested in it for so long that I just ignored. Like, and this had nothing to do with Kayla. Like, I saw it before I heard what she had said and was like, ooh, I'm interested in that. And then she liked it. And so then I was like, ooh, maybe I'll like it too. Because I have like several books that she has, but like Messy Friendships is, I guess, not one of them. And I know there are exceptions to this. I have read books with messy friendships that I have enjoyed, but I think my thing is there has to be other elements in the story that are strongly present throughout the messy friendship that I can get behind, right? Like something engaging and interesting plot-wise for me to be like, okay, I want to know what happens, because right now I could care less. I can care less about this murder because we haven't heard literally anything about it. I don't know what else to say. I am gonna listen to it for a little bit longer because I am listening to the audiobook, and now that we're at a point where the death is being brought up, hopefully that continues and brings us into a more interesting thread. Okay, I take it back. I take it back. Now, it's true, the first, 9 chapters of this I hated, but I loved every single thing else. Like, I loved all of the rest of it. As soon as we got into figuring out what was happening and having all of the history of the characters be revealed in relation to that event, I was here for it. I was here for it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved the messy friendship. I know, contradiction, sue me. But like, yeah, that was, thank you, Ashley Winstead, for redeeming yourself at the end. I don't know what I'm going to rate this though, because I did hate the beginning. I was so not into it. But that was only like, 9 chapters out of however many chapters there are in this. It was a small portion, I guess. Yeah, that was, okay, yeah, so this story is about a group of kids at this high school. Not my favorite that they were high school kids, but they're adults now, and they come back for a reunion, and we start learning about one of their friends' death and what happens. And obviously messy. You learn a lot of different things about these people. And it was a good time. Once that was the focus, I enjoyed it. I did not enjoy the beginning of the story where it was just the friendship. It was just them meeting each other. It was us just in the head of this one character who was like a self-centered fake wannabe to some degree. And I feel bad. Like, she's not that bad. I was just so tired of it at that point. I do honestly feel bad. Like, giving her such a hard time, not because I like her at all, but because just because I don't like that doesn't mean anybody is wrong for having feelings like that. Like, they're legit feelings for people to have. I just didn't really like her. But I am happy with it. I'm happy with how it ended up. I'm happy with the reveals we got. Like, in the end, this was bomb. I'm like thinking about a 4 stars, but I kind of feel like I shouldn't. But I love like everything else that basically happened. Like, even though things were messy, even though I didn't necessarily like the characters, even though, messy friendship was a big focus and we learned more about it once it was tied into the mystery, ate it up. Oh man. That's the last book though, isn't it? Yep, we have successfully completed this vlog. I have read all 3 of the intended books. I was gonna extend this vlog and read some more, but I might just do that separately. These were amazing. These were great. They were all on the cusp. They could have easily not been a favorite. And I mean, they weren't like, this isn't a favorite of mine. It was fun. It was weird. It was a good time. But I feel like this is more of a 3-star than anything else, except when I was sitting down writing about it in my reading journal and I was like thinking about things and feeling passionately. I'm like, maybe it's a little bit more than a 3-star. I don't know. Then this one, I was sure I wasn't going to like it. And it ended up surprising me as well. But like, yeah, and it had some problems. There were some problems that I had with it, things that were not my favorite, but overall, like, I got into it. I liked the character. There were parts of her that I didn't like, but I enjoyed what was happening. I want to reread the ending because a lot happens, but I think this was a good time. And then I hated this at the beginning, but things turned around and now I love it. So this was an experience. Let's just say that. Did not go as planned. Not like I thought. Wild ride. But it was a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to thumbs up and all that good stuff. If you're interested in reading any of these, I will have them linked down below along with Kayla's channel, although I'm sure you know about her already. But if not, I'll have her linked down below. And if you made it this far, include bunny emojis. Like, include a bunny emoji. And I will catch you in the next video. Until then, bye!